Good evening, everyone, and welcome to True Crime with the Bad Girl, the Playa, and the Stars. I am Benny Scala, aka the Playa, aka Benny the Jet, and with me, as always, is my lovely co-host. She is a professional wrestling Hall of Famer. She is the queen of the oldies airwaves and one of Killer Kowalski's favorite students. And of course, I could only be talking about the one and only Boston Bad Girl, Brittany Brown. Brittany, how are you?
I am doing very well, thank you. How are you guys doing?
Great. Now, give us a quick weather report because you guys are in the Northeast. What's it like there?
We are not happy right now, and I think Dave can second that big time. Yeah, it is a nor'easter. Thank God it's over 32 degrees here because I think we'd be in really big trouble.
Oh, you'd be in deep doo-doo, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a miserable day. My haunted pumpkin patch, a couple of my ghouls has really messed my ghouls up. Been ripped down. Yep, they've been ripped down, but it was a great weekend. Had a beautiful weekend, a blessed weekend. My daughter, the genius, cooked for me all weekend.
I heard,
her and her boyfriend Joe. We watched football all day Sunday.
Right?
Yeah, we watched the Red Zone, and it was just with Cashy. Cashy was right next to me watching it with me. It was just a great weekend.
Great.
And
well, the man chatting is one of Killer Kowalski's other favorite students, the man who always has his pickle ready in the pouch. He is the dapper, dangerous Dave Starr.
Absolutely, you always got to have the pickle ready in a pouch. Pickle always has to be seasoned, because if the pickle ain't seasoned, you don't have repeat customers. So, with that being said, I swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help me tonight.
So to put it in poetic terms, if the pickle has no season, there is no reason, right?
That's what I've found out. You know.
Well, Dave, there's been a rumor circulating around, and I got to go right to the horse's mouth here to get a bet because you're a straight up guy. You know, your word is your bond, and I have heard rumors that you may be competing. And if people can't see this, it is the Mr. World Male Feet Contest. So,
Wow,
is that true?
Well, that is true. I have been entered in a World Feet and Beautiful Toes contest. Hopefully, I can do everybody proud. Like I said, for a man of 63 years old, I know my grades weren't that great. Chris DiCarlo gave me a good grade. Thank you, Chris. But I know I got a 5 from Denise, but I feel that I have beautiful, soft, moist toes and feet. I take care of my feet. I'm very proud of them.
But here's the thing, Dave. I mean, you're competing against feet all over the world. Now, certain feet, like Algerian feet or Tunisian feet. I mean, they've been in the desert. There's probably like with cactus needles and crap in them, right? You don't have to worry about them. Like, and then you got what do you call Croatian and Iceland feet, and they're blue because they're frozen, right?
Right.
But then you got like Curacao feet and Bali feet. And these guys have been, they're soaking their tootsies in the sun like year round with banana boat SPF 50. I mean, those are going to be some like quality feet. So, I mean, that's, some pretty stiff competition there.
Well, I'll tell you what my trick is. First of all, I'll tell you what my trick is. But the first thing I'll tell you is through my whole life, I've always taken care of my feet. But what I'll tell you is when the girls get romantic with me and it comes time for crunch time and I take my clothes off, they don't even care about my body. They go right to my feet. They admire my feet. They just keep rubbing my feet. And I'll tell you what the secret is my whole life. I have soaked my feet in unborn virgin olive oil. So try to compete with that, Try to compete with that.
Unborn virgin? Where do you get that? I've never heard of that. I've heard of virgin olive oil, but...
Yeah, unborn virgin olive oil comes from the hills of Italy. So I get a case in a year, and I soak my feet in there probably 2 to 3 times a week. for about an hour, and then I take a shower, put moisture on them, and my feet are the most luxurious feet and toes in the world. That's what I've been told.
One Monday night, you should, during the podcast, you should soak your feet in olive oil, and maybe you share with our viewers, because that would be, that would pop our ratings, I think. What do you think, Brittany?
Well,
I agree. Live.
Yeah.
We could crack the True Crime Top 100 with that.
I appreciate our viewers, but I can't give all my secrets away, because then everybody else who I'm competing within these contests will also be doing the same thing.
That's true.
Well, Dave, I want to tell you that if you do want to compete, because I think it's in like Sao Paulo, Brazil, we may have to start a GoFundMe to raise funds to get you there for that, because I think you could win that.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. If I have to raise money by giving kisses out, like selling kisses
at the carnival, right? You got a booth at the carnival, no?
Outside my apartment, wherever you want to set the booth up, donations. Okay. But I'm not kissing any girls with a beard or a mustache. That's
all right. You gotta draw the line. I mean, you gotta draw the line somewhere. No facial hair, right?
Yeah,
I draw the line.
I had an aunt. She had like it was Brillo on her chin, and I mean, she would, I would get color when she kissed me. I mean, that's how bad it was.
Yeah, my Aunt Betty, she was rough looking too. So
yeah,
I draw the line at people that look like Aunt Betty.
Well, now the only thing, Dave, is that obviously, like, everybody's attracted to your feet, but like in a contest like that, you got to be well rounded. So, have you ever gotten a facial?
Well, I've given some facials out, but I've never received any. If that's what you're asking.
Because you might need a facial. Have you ever gotten an ashel?
I've never. No, I don't know what that is, and I don't think
an ashel is a facial given, on your ass.
Yeah. Well, you know what? There's certain things on the dangerous one that. I
don't know if Brittany's laughing or she's.
That's a do not enter.
Right.
That's the do not enter area.
I don't know. Like, I don't know what they're going to make you show besides your feet. You got to be prepared,
Yeah.
Well, look at the goatee. You know what I put in my goatee? You don't even know what I put in my goatee. Unborn virgin lotion, not olive oil, but lotion that I put in my goatee. I don't use regular cream.
All right. We got P 2.0. I'm assuming Mrs. P is here, or I haven't seen her yet.
She must be.
Hello, Denise. And my friend, and I hope I say her name right, Pangiata, even though it's a 17 Cooper. She's listening all the way from Greece.
Wow.
Greece is the word.
God bless the Greeks. I love Greek lamb.
Very nice lady.
Love Greek lamb.
Very interested in our podcast. So, guys, for those of you in Radio Land, thanks for listening on Want Radio. They got what you want. We're also available now on Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Player FM, Podchaser, and Boomplay. We're even available on those, when you have no money, you have the paper cups with strings. We're even available on that. So tonight we have a little toast, because Brittany, why don't you lead us in the toast, because it's a very special night for you guys.
Yes. So today is the 99th birthday of Walter Killer Kowalski, who was Dave and my trainer, and a lot of our friends' trainers. And we miss him very much. And we say a very big happy birthday in heaven to Killer Kowalski.
Here's to you.
To the killer.
And I mean, you guys worked with him, but as I'm a pure fan. To me, he was one of the best heels ever, because there was 2 or 3 guys that when I saw them, they scared the crap out of me. It was Toru Tanaka, George Steele. This is when I'm 13. But last and certainly not least, and he probably scared me most of all, was Killer Kowalski. In my mind, This was the guy that was going to defeat my hero.
Yep.
He was, I mean, just my opinion, any Mount Rushmore of heels, if it doesn't have him on it, it's not complete.
I agree.
And
I absolutely agree.
As much of a villain as he was in the ring, from listening to you guys, it sounds like he was the polar opposite in real life, just a class gentleman.
100%.
Okay.
I was always scared of George the Animal Steel. That guy scared the shit out of me when I was a kid, to be honest with
Yeah.
you.
Tanaka wasn't that scary looking, but Tanaka was just a very, he looked like a cigarette machine with legs. And, plus, and he had the salt.
Yep.
Excellent guy. I sat with him at the Strand Theater in Dorchester when Walter had a show there. I didn't know he was going to be on the show. Walter sent a limo to pick a couple of us up. Me, I forget who else was in the limo. We get to to Dorchester, and in the back room there was Professor Toru Tanaka sitting there. I couldn't believe it. Sat next to him for about 20 minutes talking to him, and that's when I found out. He told me himself that he is an American from Hawaii, and he was in he was a military veteran.
Army vet, yes, sir. And again,
another
one.
Dylan in the ring.
Very nice man, by all accounts.
Should have seen the neck on him, the calves. Is like I was trying not to look at him, but the cast on him was incredible. Not a very tall, just thick.
Oh,
Remind me of Pedro Morales. That's how Pedro Morales was, just thick.
The old thick as a brick. Well, guys, before we start tonight, we do have a sponsor. So to pay the bills here, I'm going to do this commercial, and then we can start our show. Hang on one second. Hopefully I get this right. True Crime with the Bad Girl, the Playa, and the Stars is brought to you by the Burbrower Law Firm. Folks, if you've been injured in a car accident, please reach out to our good friend Adam Burbrower at the Burbrower Law Firm. Adam and his crew do things the right way with great results. Not only is Adam a great attorney, but the dude has framed pictures of Ernie the Cat Lad, the unpredictable Johnny Rods, and our very own Boston Bad Girl in his office. How cool is that? If you see Adam at the community pool trying to nail that elusive triple Lindy, you'll notice superstar Billy Graham tattooed on his back and Bret the Hitman Hart tattooed on his chest. This guy is not only the man of the hour, the man with the legal power, too sweet to be sour, he is also the excellence of elocution. Besides being a great guy, Adam is a true crime aficionado and an avid WWF historian. Who else can get you a great settlement while breaking down Mario Mancini's greatest matches? Well, that one's a quickie. Check out Adam at burbrowerlaw.com and follow him on Facebook. And don't forget to tell him that the Bad Girl, the Playa, and the Stars sent you. All righty. So, guys, tonight we're going to cover an oldie, but a goodie, one that I really didn't know a whole lot about until I started doing a little bit of research. But we're going to look at the unsolved murder of Bob Crane, the star of the hit TV show Hogan's Heroes. Although after you hear a little bit more about the case, you may be of a different opinion as far as how unsolved it is. But Brittany's going to lead us through the story of a man who was way different than what you saw on television.
Definitely. Yes. Robert Edward Crane was born July 13th, 1928, in, oddly enough, Waterbury, Connecticut. From a young age, he was musical. He learned drums early, and by his early teens, played professionally. After college, Crane gravitated into radio. First in smaller markets, then in Connecticut, where he became a disc jockey and radio host. His wit, ease on the microphone, and facility with audience connections made him stand out. Over time, he became one of the first disc jockeys in the nation to earn over $100,000 a year. In Connecticut, he interviewed celebrities who came through, polishing his conversational skills. He became known not just for music and banter, but for a style of interview that could coax something fresh from a guest. Those early years behind the microphone formed Crane's confidence before audiences, his feeling for timing, and his taste for spotlight. Yet radio in Connecticut was a stepping stone. Bob Crane would set his sights bigger. By the late 1950s, early 1960s, he had relocated to Los Angeles and joined KNX, the powerful news talk radio station. There, he hosted a morning show and built a name in the Los Angeles media landscape. His program became one of the highest rated in the market. At KNX, his radio persona, witty, urbane, warm, helped him achieve celebrity beyond local radio. He began interviewing stars, networking in Hollywood, and positioning himself for television opportunities. His presence in Hollywood circles allowed him to take guest spots on television. Who would have thought it? One early appearance was on the Dick Van Dyke Show, where he appeared as a guest, an early foray into scripted TV. He also obtained a recurring role on the Donna Reed Show, playing Dr. Dave Kelsey, neighbor to the Reeds, which made him a familiar face on network television. Crane's move into acting gained momentum, and he caught the attention of producers. One of his early friendships was with Rob Reiner, who would cross paths with numerous Hollywood figures, and the circles Crane was moving in were tightly knit. By the early 60s, Crane was auditioning, accepting small roles and chasing a breakthrough. That breakthrough would come in 1965. In 1965, he landed the starring role of Colonel Robert Hogan in Hogan's Heroes, a sitcom set in a German POW camp during World War II, wherein Hogan and his fellow prisoners repeatedly outwit their captors. The show ran through 1971, earning Crane 2 Emmy nominations and making him a recognizable television name. During those years, Crane worked steadily. The show's popularity allowed him to command more visibility and, to a degree, more creative control. His second wife, Patricia Olson, known as Sigrid Valdis on stage, even appeared in Hogan's Heroes as Hilda. But even as his public success peaked, Crane cultivated a darker, hidden side. By the time Hogan's Heroes was ending, Crane's interest in photography, videography, and sexual experimentation had deepened. He became fascinated with capturing intimate encounters. With the proliferation of portable video equipment, he and a small circle of acquaintances began recording sexual escapades with women that they met in bars, nightclubs, and during his theater tours. Some biographers call this part of his compulsive sexual behavior with a willingness to film, photograph, and revisit the content. His first marriage to Anne Terzian from 1949 to 1970 ended in divorce, and his second marriage to Patricia Olson, likewise, unraveled as Crane's appetite, both literal and figurative, grew more insistent. Sources suggest that both divorces had roots in his serial infidelities and in the secret life he was leading. After Hogan's Heroes ended, Crane struggled for comparable roles. He was reduced to guest spots, occasional TV appearances, and touring dinner theaters. In 1975, NBC gave him his own sitcom, The Bob Crane Show, but it was canceled after 13 episodes. Frustrated, Crane turned increasingly to dinner theater. He traveled across the country performing in supper club venues, regional theaters, and small stages. It was during those years that his sexual recording enterprise intensified. And with that, the circle around him narrowed to a few companions who could supply equipment, assist, or participate. One such figure was John Henry Carpenter. a video equipment salesman whom Crane had known since the 1960s. Their friendship was intertwined with Crane's sexual world. Carpenter sold Crane video equipment, cameras, and methods for recording. Over time, Carpenter became not just a supplier, but a sexual associate and confidant. The two men traveled on dinner theater circuits. Carpenter arranged his business trips to coincide with Crane's engagements so that they could hunt and film together. Some accounts portray Carpenter as a type or kind of fixer or enabler in Crane's sexual quest. But by 1977, Crane is said to have grown uneasy with Carpenter's presence. He reportedly said to family and friends that Carpenter had grown into a third wheel, someone he might want to distance himself from. Some suggest Crane feared Carpenter was too dependent on him, too fixated, too insistent. It was against this backdrop, fame in decline, flights of sexual compulsion, a co-traveler who might overstep boundaries, that Bob Crane's final chapter would unfold. In the spring of 1978, Crane accepted a run in a dinner theater production called Beginner's Luck, staged at the Windmill Dinner Theater in Scottsdale, Arizona. As part of the arrangement, he rented an apartment in Scottsdale, Winfield Place Apartments, apartment number 132A. During that period, Carpenter traveled to Scottsdale to join him. The two men socialized, bar hopped, and according to the police reports and contemporaneous accounts, continued their sexual recording activities with women the pair met. Oh boy, these two, I'll tell you, it sounds like
Sounds like Dave's Carnival.
Jeez. On June 28th, the evening before Crane's death, Crane and Carpenter left the theater after a performance. Crane's car had a flat tire, and the two men drove to a nearby gas station to address it. Interestingly, police later noted that someone may have tampered with the valve stem on that tire, fueling speculation that an attack was planned. After the tire incident, the men returned to Crane's apartment. Crane had a tense, emotional phone call with his estranged wife, Patricia Olson, also known as Sigrid Valdis. He reportedly fell into a mood. Later that night, or in the early hours, Crane may have had sex with a 29-year-old that he had met recently. Sometime after midnight, in the darkness of his apartment, the fatal blow came. The police would later determine that Crane was struck in the head by a blunt instrument. Though no murder weapon was found, investigators believed it likely was a camera tripod, perhaps one of Crane's own, used as an impromptu bludgeon.
Imagine that. Wow. Well, the body was discovered the next day by Victoria Ann Berry, a co-star in Beginner's Luck, who had come to the apartment after Crane failed to appear for a midday lunch. She had a key and entered, finding him in bed, his body curled under blankets, face down, head battered, which is an understatement, with an electrical cord, believed from video equipment, knotted around his neck in a bow. There was no sign of forced entry. Some evidence suggested Crane had known his assailant, that he may have invited or let them in. The apartment was scattered with numerous photographs and videotapes of Crane's sexual encounters, some involving Carpenter. The police would later find blood smears in Carpenter's rental car on the front passenger door interior. The blood was determined to be type B, the same type as Crane's. In the original 1978 investigation, that evidence was suggestive but not conclusive. Years later, in the early 1990s, investigators would unearth a photograph of what appeared to be human tissue embedded in the rental car's doorframe, potentially linking Carpenter to Crane's fatal head wound. That tissue speck became a pivotal piece of evidence in Carpenter's 1994 murder trial. But in 1978, the case stalled. No weapon, no direct eyewitness, no motive that held up under early scrutiny. In the weeks following Crane's death, Scottsdale investigators combed the apartment, cataloged the tapes and photos, interviewed Crane's friends, lovers, and associates. The public narrative focused not just on the brutal murder, but on the sensational revelations about Crane's secret life, the recordings, the numerous women, the voyeuristic archive. Carpenter was quickly seen as a prime suspect. He had been in town, stayed with Crane, traveled with him, participated in his sexual recording enterprise. But initial prosecutors declined to press murder charges, deeming the evidence too slim. Really? Over time, other leads and theories were considered, but none held sufficient weight to warrant indictment. It wasn't until 1992 when new leadership in the Maricopa County District Attorney's Office re-examined the cold case that momentum revived. Prosecutor Rick Romley reopened the investigation, reanalyzed forensic evidence, and authorized the gathering of previously untested materials. He pursued Carpenter, asserting that the blood and tissue in the rental car linked Carpenter to the killing. In June 1992, Carpenter was arrested under sealed charges, nearly 14 years after Crane's murder. He was extradited to Arizona to stand trial. During the trial, the prosecution's case centered on the circumstantial evidence, the blood smears, the tissue photograph, Carpenter's presence at the scene, his relationship with Crane, and the possibility of motive, that Crane might have been distancing himself from Carpenter. They also played a grainy video showing Carpenter and Crane in sexual activity with a woman as evidence of their intimate relationship. The defense fought back hard. They challenged the tissue photographs, arguing it was not speculative, not conclusive. It was speculative, not conclusive. They noted the absence of the murder weapon, the lack of a direct eyewitness, and the weak chain of custody. They also argued that many other individuals might have had motives or access to Crane's tapes and women. After 8 weeks of trial and 2.5 days of jury deliberation, Carpenter was acquitted, found not guilty. Jury foreman Michael Lake would say, "There wasn't any proof. You can't prove someone guilty on speculation." Prosecutors lamented the lack of DNA-grade evidence and the fact that old forensic materials had eroded. They offered that perhaps with modern science, clearer conclusions might have been drawn, but for now, the verdict stood. To this day, Bob Crane's murder remains officially unsolved, but the case, the speculation, and the tragic tension between public persona and hidden life continue to fascinate. Bob Crane left behind a complicated legacy. On TV, he was Colonel Hogan, clever, amiable, invincible. In private, he was a man pushed by desire, recording, and the thrill of sexual conquest. His compulsions led him into risky territory, drawing him close to those who could facilitate or exploit his urges. His divorces, his decline after Hogan's Heroes, his search for purpose in dinner theater, these were the phases of a star whose shine was dimming, yet whose appetite remained ferocious. The night of his death, Carpenter remained the central suspect. But even with the later tissue photograph, the trial revealed the limits of forensic evidence from an age before modern DNA. The jury's verdict left open room for doubt, for alternative theories, for speculation about other women, other jealous lovers, or unknown intruders. Victoria Berry's grim discovery of his body, the absence of forced entries, the suggestion of an invitation, all these details underscore the possibility that Crane's murderer might have been someone he trusted. The broken tripod theory remains powerful in the public imagination, that the very tool he used for his hidden life turned into a weapon. In the end, Bob Crane's murder is less the conclusion of a story than the hinge between two versions of a man, the radiant television legend and the darker, compulsive voyeur. That hinge snapped violently in Scottsdale in 1978, and the key remains missing. What do you guys think?
You go first, Dave. Mine's a long answer.
You know what always fascinates me in stuff like this? And I'm not making judgment on anybody, so anybody out there, I don't want you to take offense to anything, because I live free and be whatever you want to be. But like, I love women. Okay, I love women. How do you have sex with women and men? That's confusing to me. Like, I don't know how you can do something like that. Like I can't see myself having sex with women and then having sex with men, like, 'cause it's so totally different and
Well, I
weird.
mean, I don't think he had, from all accounts, he didn't have sex with the guy, but he was, like they would tag team women. Like I don't want a naked guy in the room with me. There's no way. I'm kind of with you, Dave.
No.
I mean, I just want to see a naked woman. I don't want to see a naked guy. I don't care if he's not touching me. Get the hell out of the room. That's the part.
So
I don't understand that part.
I'm confused. So he wasn't having sex with men?
No, he was not having. No, he this guy Carpenter would, sometimes be a part of his video, but they both, be involved with one, maybe one woman or two women, and that happened a lot. I mean, even when they weren't videotaping, they might pick up a couple of women. They'd wind up at Crane's place, and they'd be four of them in one room.
Ew.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I see. I'm sorry. I'm one man, one woman. That's good enough for me.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. See, I was under the impression that he also was having sex with young men.
No, you know what, Dave, though? I thought that for years and years until we decided to do this case. If you had asked me like a month ago, I thought he was involved in those kind of relationships, and that's what did him in. Although, who knows?
Wow.
I mean, maybe we don't know the whole story. Maybe Dave's onto something.
I was under the impression that he was having sex with young men also. So I don't know what this investigation came up with, but from what I heard years ago, when I was kind of investigating this, I thought he was having sex with young men. I thought he was bringing young men home to have sex with them. That's what I thought. But going on the theory, I guess, that he wasn't. I thought he was. I thought that's what that the police and the investigation showed. That's why I just said I don't know how you can have sex with a woman and a man. That being said, I can't do 2-on-1s or 3-on-1s, because if I look over and this guy's hung like a mule and I'm looking at myself, I'm like, I don't like that. That's no good either.
Nope.
So.
Preaching to the choir, my friend.
So I really don't know what happened to this guy. I would assume the guy, his buddy, would have, and maybe Brittany's explanation, but I somehow feel that this guy that his photographer, their buddy, was involved somehow. He was set up for a reason. There was a motive there that they set him up. What was the motive? Why would they want to kill him? Was it one of his ex-wives involved in it? I mean, this is a case where a lawyer could, someone like Alan Jackson would eat this case up and come up with so much reasonable doubt, without any DNA or without any cameras like they have today. There's so much reasonable doubt.
Yeah. There were two crucial things missing: the murder weapon and a confession. And they were screwed. But Brittany, who do you think did it?
So originally, I was under the impression many years ago that John Carpenter would have been found guilty. Obviously, he was tried for it. He was not found guilty because of exactly what you just said. I still felt that he was behind it, if not did it. I always felt that way until, and you guys will both probably remember this story because I told you both. I went to a party at Richard Dawson's son's house in California.
Oh, okay.
And Richard Dawson's son, this particular son whose house I was at, he went to the trial every single day in support of John Carpenter. So that shocked me because I figured, Richard Dawson's son, his dad's best friend was Bob Crane. One of his best friends
close. Yeah, they were
was
close.
Bob. Yeah. So the fact that Mark Dawson went to court every day in, in support of John Carpenter tells me something different than what we must know. I don't know what he knew. I saw the paperwork. I saw court paperwork. I saw legal documents that day. It was very interesting. It's what first got me real serious about true crime memorabilia. That's what started it all for me there. But I think there's way more to this story. I still feel, even though Mark Dawson may not feel this way, I still feel like John Carpenter was involved. If not, he was the one that did it. And I think it was over jealousy, just his lifestyle. I think John Carpenter wanted what Bob Crane had: money, fame, and very pretty women.
Yeah.
Throwing themselves. That's what I think. And whether it was out of jealousy, I don't know, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you, Brittany. By all accounts, initially when they got together, Carpenter had something that Crane wanted. He had the expertise with the electronics, and Crane was very interested in filming his conquests. So he needed the guy for a while, and then they palled around together. But I think there was a point, in my opinion, that Crane thought, okay, well, this guy's becoming baggage. And apparently when he came to visit Crane in Arizona, because Crane did that dinner theater for a long time, when Carpenter came from California to visit, he would stay in Crane's apartment every time, except this last time. Crane said, no, go get a hotel room, which was very close to where Crane lived. So, I think, it was the beginning of the end, that he was, just trying to figure out a way to, cut this guy off permanently. Didn't really quite figure out how to do it yet. But whoever, one thing that was said, that I was listening to a couple of different podcasts on this, was that Crane was found wearing boxer shorts, which he never slept in boxer shorts. So, there was no sign of a struggle. There was no sign of forced entry. So obviously he let somebody into that apartment, I believe, that he trusted. Otherwise, I think he probably felt comfortable enough with this Carpenter guy. It's like, all right, well, I believe that Crane was driving Carpenter to the airport the next morning. Carpenter was flying back to California, and Crane said, I'll give you a ride to the airport. And I think Carpenter came over under the premise that, well, it's so, because they had palled around, I think, till like 2 a.m, and they had to leave like around 6 or 7 for the airport. And Crane just says, well, I guess it's okay. You can just hang out here, and I'll get up and I'll drive you to the airport. And I guess in those several hours, maybe Carpenter snapped and thought, all right, well, the hell with this guy. Like, maybe in his mind, he's like, this is going to be my last time. And and the tripod was never found. And according to what I heard about the autopsy, that the marks left on Crane's skull were precisely what the tripod would have caused. And, and they also found type B blood in Carpenter's car, which is what Bob Crane had, which I believe only 9% of the population has. So that, it's not like defining, but it's, it increases the odds substantially. And then they found what was considered tissue in the car. I've rented a lot of cars. I don't think I ever saw any blood or any brain tissue in my cars. So, nope. While there was no definitive case, I really think that there was enough circumstantial evidence, and there was enough motive. The only thing I think what really screwed Crane up, in my opinion, was because of his lifestyle. I think that's what screwed up the verdict, because theoretically, he had 2 ex-wives that probably hated him because of what he did to them. And God only knows how many of these women that he scored with probably had boyfriends or husbands. It's very easy to speculate that, one of these husbands or one of these boyfriends had it in for him.
Sure.
So, although, again, the guy is a celebrity, he's going to keep his door locked. He's not going to let a random person in his apartment, that's where, and I mean, if he let somebody in, like it was a jealous boyfriend, there's going to be a huge struggle, and there's going to be signs of a struggle. I mean, whoever did this, Crane was sleeping in his bed, and they took that tripod, two blows, and he was dead. He was asleep when he got killed.
Yep.
So I don't see it being anybody other than Carpenter.
So you're saying, well, I got a couple questions. So first, you're saying that the motive would be he was cutting this guy out of everything. He's cutting him out of his life, cutting him out of the girls, cutting him out of all the excitement. That's the motive. Yep. That's what you're saying.
But say that again, Dave. I didn't quite understand that.
The motive. Well, you're saying the motive is that this guy wanted to kill him was he was going to cut this guy out of everything. The fun. I'm sure they were doing drugs. The women. That was his motive. Because Bob Crane told him no more. That's it. You're done.
Well, yeah. I mean, you think about it. You're going to go to a bar with Bob Crane. Back in the late 70s, everybody knows who the hell Bob Crane is. He was still a young guy. I think he was like about 49, 50-ish. I mean, he's only a few seasons removed from Hogan's Heroes. He did some other stuff. He was a local celebrity because he did the dinner theater. Everybody knows who the guy is. He's a known figure. And when they went out, I'm sure Crane got recognized quite often, and I'm sure it was by a lot of females, and I'm sure sometimes there was more than one female, and I'm sure that Carpenter, being not a very good-looking guy as you saw in the picture, right, he probably got the second string, Well, but he got something. I mean, he went home with somebody, and he got to hang out.
If there's brain tissue in the car and the guy's blood's in the car, that's not enough to convict this guy?
I guess there's another point to this, is that the Scottsdale Police Department was not very experienced in handling a case like this, because I guess there weren't really many cases like this. And they let Victoria Barry, his co-star on that show, Beginner's Luck, they let her wander around the apartment while the investigation's going on, and they let other people, and they corrupted the scene, and the crime scene, and they didn't do a very good job of collecting or preserving evidence. So, now if this had happened in 97 instead of 79, they got him dead to rights, because they're going to have the DNA, and he's in jail in a heartbeat, or now. I mean. But back then in 79, it was, there were no cameras. There were no, outside the apartment. There were no, no DNA, no cell phones. Got nothing.
Yep. I agree.
I imagine this guy Carpenter is dead now.
Yeah, he died, I think, in 2000. He died fairly young.
Oh, he died a long time ago. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he died a long. Yeah, he did. Yeah, it was not like they could.
And nobody, there's nobody. Like, he didn't tell anybody anything. Like, hey, I killed. Like, usually, if you do something like that, you want to brag about it.
No deathbed confession or anything like that. My thing is like OJ or Casey Anthony. They get acquitted, but have you ever heard of another suspect?
I know.
Right? They did it.
Exactly.
They had, in OJ's case, he had enough money to hire a dream team, of attorneys. Baez, I can't stand the guy, but he did a hell of a job. He got her off, probably in more ways than one, right? What do you think, Dave? You think he just got her off? You think he just got her off in the courtroom?
I know nothing. I used to love that guy on that show.
Oh, Sergeant Schultz.
I love that guy.
Well, I loved that show, and I used to watch it. I forget what night of the week it was on, but I watched it when it was, prime time. And 6 seasons it went on, which, it's not too bad.
I'll tell you what, Bob wasn't really a big Bob Crane guy, but I liked everybody on that, everybody blended into that show. Who was the guy with the thing in his eye? What was his name?
Colonel
What
Clink.
was it? Colonel Clink. Yep,
The
Colonel
monocle,
Clink.
yeah.
Yeah, it's Colonel Clink. It was just Bob Crane didn't do it for me. Like, in other words, if he was coming somewhere close and he was doing a show or something, I wouldn't go see him. I think everybody made that show. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I think
I agree.
everybody made that show
Richard
like
Dawson became a star because of that, right?
Yeah, Richard Dawson was
that launched his career.
to kiss all the girls on what's that show?
Yeah.
Give me that kiss. He used to kiss him, put his tongue down there.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, there was tongue involved. I no doubt about that.
Oh yeah. So I mean, I can't blame him. Tongue is good, but it's like All in the Family. Once Gloria, Mike, Sally Struthers, and Rob Reiner left the show, it wasn't a show anymore. It was done. It went on for
it went on
for a few more years.
Dynamic between Archie and Meathead.
Exactly.
Right. It went on for a few more years they had the little girl but then they had Archie Bunker's Place. But once those two left, in all honesty, it was done. That show was done.
Yeah.
It was no more.
Yeah.
So it was like everybody made that show, like everybody loves Raymond. Like I would never go see Ray Romano if he's doing a stand-up comedy because he don't do it for me. But on that show, I love that show. Everybody makes that show.
They just blend the four of them, the wife and the mother and father and Bobby, the Robert. That whole dynamic is phenomenal. Yeah, Ray Romano himself, like I wouldn't go see him in stand-up comedy. I don't think he's really that funny, but put into that show with the right characters. I mean, yeah, perfect.
Right. That's
go ahead.
Like 2.5 Men. I'm not a Charlie Sheen guy. Like I wouldn't go see him if he was doing comedy. But on that show, with Berter and all the other characters, that was a great show. I love that show.
It was.
That was a good show. But I wouldn't go and see him if he was in a comedy club somewhere around here. I wouldn't go see him. Do
you guys think that I think his reputation got pretty widespread that this is the kind of lifestyle he led, with the serial sexual sexcapades.
Yep.
Do you think that kind of derailed his career?
I do.
See, I think
I heard a lot of rumors in Hollywood about him, but you guys might have more input than that. But he never had another TV show, right? That was it.
Well, I mean, you got a 6-year run like that, and the show had pretty good ratings for I think the first 5 seasons.
Oh yeah.
All he had that which I saw that Bob Crane show, and that was the drizzling shits. I'm surprised it lasted 13 episodes. That was like 12 episodes too many. But you would have thought he would have popped up somewhere doing something.
Yeah.
And now you're doing dinner theater, which I mean, I'm sure he made some decent money to pay his bills, but after you're doing network TV, I think that's it's like playing for the Yankees and then playing for the Toledo Mud Hens.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, it was a lot of steps down.
Well, it's like if you take Carol O'Connor, okay, you take him. This is just my opinion. I know this is a popular show. People loved it, but he went on to star in The Heat of the Night as a sheriff. Yep. And it just didn't do absolutely nothing for me. Like when I saw him on that show, it's like, no, you are Archie Bunker. You're not, he tried to do the southern drawl and it just didn't. That's just my opinion. It just didn't work. Like I watched that one episode. I never watched it again.
That's what that's the danger of certain like a Don Knotts and Andy Griffith.
Yeah.
Where you do the same thing for so long, and people really don't want to see you do anything else. They're so used to you as Barney Fife. They don't want to see you as a serious character. In their minds, you're Barney Fife, no matter what you say or do.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, though, I loved him on Three's Company. I thought he was great on Three's
too.
Company.
Oh God, he was. I gotta say, like both the landlords. The Norman Fell, I guess, was the other guy's name, Mr. Roper.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was so damn good. They both were great. That was
They were.
Yeah, I mean,
there was so many good one-liners in that show.
I mean, that was very rare. I thought I loved Don Knotts on that show. I thought he blended in really well after everything else he had done.
I mean, that show had everything. It was funny. It had, it had like very attractive women, scantily clad, and a lot of double entendres there.
Scantily clad, yes, scantily clad
all day long. Yep.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite, Dave?
A favorite for what?
On Three's Company, which are the girls?
I like Mrs. Roper because she was older. Mrs. Roper knew things
older women need loving too, right?
I mean, hey, she always wanted sex on the show, and Mr. Roper wouldn't give it to her, and I was like, I don't know. Mrs. Roper always turned me on for some reason. I don't know.
God.
Not
the answer I expected.
I think Mrs. Roper probably would have given her a lifetime pass to the carnival, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, I liked how she wore the lipstick. She always wore heavy lipstick, and I like heavy lipstick on a woman. That's just me personally. I think it makes their mouth come alive. I don't know.
Mrs. Roper.
That's just the carnival. That's all.
There you go. Hey, man, that's
How about you? Who did you like?
I will surprise you. I like Janet. I thought she was cute and she was smart, and that's my type. Not a knockout. That's not necessary because people get too enamored over looks. Looks fade. Personality is what counts to me. And she was smart. I mean, she wasn't unattractive by any means, but she had the the wit and the humor. Chrissy. I mean, God bless her. Was Suzanne Summers? I mean, beautiful, but not too much in the brains department. At least on the show, anyway.
Yeah.
Brittany, did any of the girls turn you on, or any of the guys in that show?
No.
Not even Larry Dallas. That was the other. That was his friend, right?
I thought Larry was so lame. And I think Jack bringing him along with him as like a wingman. Oh my God! Find somebody else.
Yeah, Larry was like he was like Mario Mancini. He was an enhancement talent.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, Larry. I didn't mean to insult you, but
and for all the late comers here tonight, the Dangerous One is entering as we talked about earlier in the show. We have a lot of late comers supposedly overslept. I am entering a world feet contest. I do soak my feet in unborn virgin olive oil. Here it is right here. World male feet contest. That's what I'm in. I'm gonna make the family proud.
Yeah.
Make the family proud. Some people soak their feet in Epsom salt. I soak mine in unborn virgin olive oil.
Are you gonna do like a training video, Dave, like soaking your feet and like have like Eye of the Tiger,
Oh,
I don't know, because then it gives the secrets away of how I keep my feet and toes beautiful and almost like a sculpture. My feet are almost like a sculpture. You could make a sculpture out of my feet,
Mine are the exact opposite. Mine if you took a pancake and took an X-Acto knife and made 5 slits for toes, those are my feet.
Oh, have you tried Epsom salt? You do have the hair.
I got the hair.
May we ask? I get a lot of people that ask me off air, what type of conditioner you use for your hair. Is that a secret, or can you tell us?
Me?
Yes, you.
Yeah.
I got a lot of people asking.
Hang on 1 second.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy, look at the buttocks. Yeah, I got a lot of people asking me this. What does that player use for?
So after I wash my hair, let it dry out, the shampoo out, and then I put some Pantene. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Pantene.
Pantene, just massage it in the scalp. Just let it sit there for about 5 minutes. Yeah.
Wow.
Pantene, yes.
That's the secret sauce.
Is there a secret flavor to this Pantene? Strawberry flavor, cherry flavor?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't. I never tasted it. So
Flavor.
Yeah.
Well, smell like aroma.
Scent.
No. Wait, I'll get you one more thing though. Hang on.
Oh goodness,
boy.
there's the butt box again.
Yeah, hide those buttocks, Play. You're gonna make Mrs. P and the girls go nuts. For God's sakes, hide it.
No, that's your category. But I do, before I go to Grandma Sally's every morning, I do spray my hair with coconut oil.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now we're getting somewhere. Now
that has a nice aroma. And I mix it, that and my cologne, they kind of blend.
So that's what's getting you the extra large sausages.
maybe ask what type of where you buy your clone, Walmart.
Yeah, one of them asked me on Sunday if I can I butter your grits. I don't know. I might have been. I don't know how to take that one.
I know, right?
Now, when it comes to cologne player, are you because you are the player? We're on the Player Entertainment Network, so I'm gonna ask the questions that the people want to know. When you use a cologne, are you a low-end guy, a high-end guy? You spend a lot of money?
No, what would you define as a lot of money?
Well, I'll tell you what I used to use a long time ago. Remember when Brute was famous?
Yep.
Joe Namath used to do the commercials for Brute cologne.
Yeah.
Yep. So now you got Dracor, Armenia, or whatever it's called there, Armenia cologne, Old Spice. What do you use, Player?
No, I use something called Raw Chemistry. It's about $40, but I love it. It's the only thing I'll use, and unfortunately, I'm all out of it. So, but it's time to reorder.
Oh my goodness!
I'm very particular because certain if it doesn't smell just right, it kind of makes you want to gag. And I remember I had a teacher in elementary school. He had Brute, and we used to joke that in his bathroom sink, he had hot, cold, and Brute.
Love it.
I mean, you could smell him. Like, you knew that he was, if you're in the classroom and he wasn't there yet, oh, there he is. 30 seconds before, you could smell him down the hallway.
Yep.
Now, I have a bit of a story. I don't know if I said it on the air before, but did I tell you the high karate story of my friend?
All
right, this is a little bit graphic, but I think
you haven't told us.
Okay. Well, Mrs. P, I'm going to apologize in advance. Please, I'm just relating a story that I was told. So I was a senior in high school. I was working at a direct mail factory, junk mail, right? And mostly worked with kids my age, but I worked with a gentleman who was in his mid-40s. He had 8 kids, and he would work at a food warehouse from 6 at night until 6 in the morning. And then he'd work at my place from 6:30 to 1 o'clock. He'd go home. He literally slept 3 hours a day. But I guess when you had 8 kids back then, that's what you did.
Wow.
But anyway, he would tell us stories. And he said when he was younger, around my age, that he had a date with a young lady, and there was a chance that he was going to get lucky. And he wanted to make sure he was clean everywhere. And now, Dave, you mentioned Brute, right? Remember high karate?
I do.
All right. Well, he wanted to make sure that just in case, something happened, he was ready. So he took the high karate and he poured it in a certain opening. His little pee-pee hole. And he said,
that's disgusting.
He said every neighbor on the block could hear him scream. He
This is
said
a friend of yours?
even Brittany feels it. I'm telling you, even now, like I'm burning right now. Like
Oh my God.
he said he said for a week he was in agony.
Why don't you just fucking wash your pee-pee with a friggin' soap?
I don't know. Well, I tell you what, he saved me. He saved me that torture.
And this is a friend of yours?
No, he was a coworker. He was a coworker.
Co-worker.
Like I said, yeah, he was an older man. They hired mostly high school kids, but they had but 3 or 4 adults there just to make sure that we worked, and he was one of them. And yeah, he would tell us stories, and that was one of the stories he told me.
Wow.
I wouldn't drop a bar of soap in front of this guy. I'll tell you that from the sounds of it.
2.0 double ouch. God, you got that right. Oh my God.
Wow.
Just telling that story hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But when you said brute, Dave, you triggered that story because I'm thinking brute, high karate.
Yeah. Do you remember those commercials?
Those were the lower end colognes.
Do you remember those? Well, not back in the day. Brute was up there. Joe Namath used to do those commercials. You remember that?
That's right. Yeah.
Brute was a high-end cologne.
Back in the day, I liked Polo. That was a nice one. I used a lot.
Yep.
Polo, yeah. Nice. Yep. I like a musky. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I like the raw chemistry. It's kind of like that. It's not too strong, but it mixes with your body and it works well.
Right. In fact, I got my cologne right here. I always keep it on hand in case there's action in the carnival.
Oh,
you gotta be prepared, right? So, is he getting it now?
He must
for any of you guys, just to be aware that we may set up a GoFundMe for Dave in case he decides to enter it's Mr. World Man Feet, and I believe it is somewhere in Brazil.
Yes, if anybody would help me with the GoFundMe page, I'd appreciate it.
I think you got a good chance of winning, Dave.
This is a top of the line cologne. I paid $150 for this thing. Top of the line. I'm ready to go in the carnival.
Now I feel like a cheapskate. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm ready. The carnival's ready to go at any time. Ready to go.
So now, Dave, if you win this contest, we might not see you anymore because you're gonna have to do a lot of like supermarket openings and things like that.
Yeah.
Well, one thing about me and anybody that knows me, I never forget where I came from. I never forget who got me to where I'm going. I would never stop doing this show. I don't care how rich I became. You guys are like really good friends of mine, and I would not stop doing this show.
We're like family. Come on.
Family.
Right.
Yes, family. Yes, family. I don't like that word because then I can't. Well, never mind. Family. Yes. Yes.
Can you imagine, Brittany? Can you imagine Dave at a supermarket and he's cutting the tape with his foot and a pair of scissors?
I know. Can you imagine?
How
Can
about
you
me?
imagine?
How about me in a department store? Trying to get a product out. You know how they do it in the aisles there, and it's foot powder, and I have to put my feet up with no socks on and show them how the foot powder works. But I would never forget where I came from.
And imagine all the young women there with their cameras taking pictures of your feet, taking videos, posting them on TikTok. I mean, my God.
Like when I was younger, and I was single.
Oh, that's not
and I
nice,
was single.
Right? Dave's not going to lose. He would win. I think he'd have a good chance.
Hey, you know what? She should be lucky I came back for her. In the younger days when I broke up with the mother and I was having my long black hair and I was having relations all the time, you know what I said? Hey, one girl, beautiful girl. I got to get going. I got to go pick up my little Tory Rose in the Genius. And they're lucky. I never forgot about them. I went back for them. I went back once a year, but I went back, I went back.
Well, hey, the toes were in demand.
Hey, what are you gonna do? I used to take them to Kentucky. I used to take them to Kentucky Fried Chicken when they were 2 and 3. What kids get to go to Kentucky Fried Chicken when they're 2 and 3? You know?
Me?
Tell me I ain't a great father. They're lucky.
I don't
Very
think, you know
lucky.
what? I don't think I ever, like my parents, I don't think I ever went once as a child ever. So yeah, you're a good dad.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, genius and terrible Tory. You're lucky to have me as a father. Yeah.
I would think, you know, if you decide to enter this, I think they should, you know, be on your team.
Oh, they'll be on my team when the money starts rolling in. Then they'll be on my team. You know? Isn't that how it works all the time? When the money starts coming in, don't they gonna get coupons for coleslaw at Kentucky Fried Chicken? That's what they're gonna get.
Coleslaw.
Yeah. That's what they're gonna get.
I got to find out more about this contest, though. Like, what do you get? Do you get a trophy? Do you get money? Like, you know, is there something involved with it? I don't really. All I know is that there is a contest, and you know, it's worldwide. Now, I don't know if you have to like become like Mr. like USA Foot first, and before you can. I don't know if you have to win any qualifiers. I think in your case, given your feet, you can probably go like skip that and go right into the world.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you what. If I ever make it big, Benny, you're gonna be in a hot tub with a bunch of beautiful women feeding you grapes and fanning you off. Brittany, you're gonna have a bunch of Chippendales cutting your nails, doing your hair, almost like the line in The Wizard of Oz. You know, when they're doing everything all to him. You know, cutting his hair.
No, thank you very much.
Hey, that's the type of guy I am.
That's right. That's right.
Mrs. P with a little poem here. Money goes where there are the best toes. I like that.
Love it.
I just hope I have everybody's support out there in true crime podcast land.
Well,
this
that
means
song,
a lot to me.
Love grows where my rosemary goes. Like money goes where Dave's toes goes.
That's right.
That's right.
Dave, is there any true crime updates at all?
Well, Mark Sanchez ain't doing too good. I can tell you that.
Oh my God! What the hell? I mean, did that go do a 360 in what, like in hours? You know, I hear of course on Facebook, there's like everybody says the same thing 138 times. You know, Mark Sanchez got stabbed and he's in the hospital, and then 10 hours later, Mark Sanchez is arrested. Like, what the hell happened?
Yeah,
I still don't know the whole story. What happened?
Yeah, I believe he had to be more than drinking. He had to be on. Who knows what he was doing? He's this pills, probably popping some pills, drinking Ambien, whatever he was doing. And the O'Keefe family.
I tell you what, I'm you got a multi-million-dollar gig with Fox as an analyst.
I know.
If I have that, you know what I'm doing? I'm drinking Darjeeling tea and eating eating scones at home, and getting in bed at 8:30 because I want to protect my investment. What the hell are you doing?
I know.
Yeah, and the O'Keefes, they just won't give it up. Yeah, John O'Keefe's family have now got a high-powered civil case lawyer, I believe, from California, who's taken over their case to sue Karen Reed. That's
a waste of time and money and resources. Because
I agree.
You should take that time or take that money and hire a PI or somebody, like hire your own private investigator and find who really did it, which you don't really have to look that far, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
And sue 100%. Those people. Sue those people.
Yep.
Well, they're not moving from their stand because, the son was a cop. So they're not going to go against the cops. That's what's the blue wall is distorting their memory. Now they get this high.
One of my bucket list items is to see Skeletor in a jumpsuit.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Would you let her in the carnival?
He also uses cologne too. Would I let who in the carnival?
Skeletor, McCabe.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah. She needs to come to the carnival. She needs a spanking, not with a belt though, with a hand to teach her a lesson. Absolutely.
She needs
He can do it too. Spank that bitch. Yeah.
She needs to go to Golden Corral, and put on about 25 pounds. She really looks like a skeleton, and she's not very nice besides,
No.
Hey,
Ugh.
yeah. That's what crack cocaine does to you. That
Yep.
the message.
But that's the good thing about the carnival, Dave. The carnival is very non-judgmental, right? Everybody's welcome.
Everybody's welcome. Don't mean you're going to last there, but you're welcome.
Right? Yeah.
You're welcome. I don't know if you last there, but you're welcome.
But no, it's a no judgment carnival. Everything's forgiven.
Well, I'm like Bob Crane. Once I got no use for you, you're off the carnival. There you go. See you later.
Right.
Unless you're really nice and you deserve to be there and you're a nice person.
Right.
Or unless you're Mrs. Roper.
Yes. Mrs. Roper. Hey,
Mrs.
I
Roper,
go for experience.
Mrs. Roper is always welcome.
I went for the experience, Mrs. Roper. I don't need no goody two shoes. I want dirty and experience. That's what I want.
Now was she so after the original guy was Norman Fell, right? Mr. Roper. And she was Mrs. Roper. Now when Don Knotts Mr. Furley, but he lived by himself, right?
Right.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been. It's been a minute, as the younger kids say.
It's hard to believe it's been almost 50 years. Or maybe it's been 50 years.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it has been 50 years.
That's definitely a minute.
Half a century, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Where did the time go?
No kidding.
I think, let's see. Today's the 13th. So what, 18, 40, 73 more days until Christmas. How scary is that?
Wow.
Well, you gotta have faith, I guess. I have faith that people will give me Christmas presents this year. I have faith.
Oh yeah.
Me and Brittany go out for our annual pizza run for Christmas.
Yep.
We do it. We usually go to the Linwood, but we've been me and Brittany like to experiment.
That's correct.
We experiment a lot.
Yep. And I think next up is Masshole.
What is it?
What'd you say you wanted?
Next up is Masshole Pizza.
Masshole? Don't worry, Dad. What game is that, Dave? Terrible Tories.
Yeah, I don't know what you.
I don't know what gotta be the Steelers.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a little. She's being Terrible Tories in a playful mood tonight. She's being funny.
Are the Steelers coming to town?
The Steelers were already here a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, they beat the Patriots. They annihilated the Patriots.
Okay. You weren't disappointed, all right?
What's that?
You weren't disappointed with that.
Absolutely not. No.
Okay.
No. Terrible Tory is just being terrible tonight, and hopefully we can get Terrible Tory to come on our Halloween special show we're going to have in a couple of weeks.
Terrible Tory is always welcome. So is the Genius.
Absolutely.
You miss them.
Yep.
I don't even know where the Genius is. Who knows where she is?
Really? Yeah. Well, she hasn't been in the chat room. At least Tori shows up once in a while. I haven't seen the Genius much.
Oh, the Genius made a beautiful pot roast yesterday in the crock pot.
Yeah, that looked really good. Yes, did a great job. That's a great meal. That's a great on a not so nice day. It's kind of crappy outside, a little bit cold. You have a nice hot pot roast. That's the best.
It is.
The Genius did a great job. I'm promised next weekend that I'm going to get some homemade chili from Terrible Tory. So we'll see what happens.
All right.
You know, she makes great homemade chili.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very talented children you have there.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing Rumple Foreskin with me, too. He's coming to Connecticut with me.
Who is that?
Yeah. Rumple Foreskin.
Rumple Foreskin. That's a great name.
Yep. Yep, that's him.
Like I'm not forcing you to do anything.
You know? Yeah.
I hope Mrs. P is still like not. I mean, we kind of like treaded, like we kind of pushed the envelope a little bit. I hope Mrs. P isn't upset with us.
Definitely not. She is a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
One day, well, if Mrs. P ever comes to Florida, if you guys ever come to Florida, we got to all get together. Or if I come there, then we got to all hang out. Well, maybe we could do like a live show with all of us.
Yes, and I'm telling you, Mrs. P is one of my closest friends, and in order for her to be that, she has to be a ball of fun, and she is.
Well, you know what we're going to do for Mrs. P tonight? We're going to have Rumple Foreskin. We're going to have Rumple Foreskin twerk for her. How's that?
All right.
Twerk. Get down with it. Get down with it. Get down on it. Get down on it.
I
Yeah,
would love to see
Mrs.
Tori's
P.
face right now.
All Mrs. P is saying is 2.0 makes great meals in a crock pot.
Oh, she does. She does. Yeah, that is very true. Yep. 2.0 is quite the cook.
You don't have many cold days in Florida, but like, man, that's like, I miss that. Like cold day, you come inside, you want to get warm, and there's a nice, great meal in a crock pot. What's better than that?
I know, like beef stew.
Oh, yeah. My mom made that. That was fantastic.
Yesterday was a great day. We just stayed in, watched. It was just nasty yesterday here in New England. Just stayed in, watched football all day, and the genius did the pot roast in the crock pot with potatoes and carrots and onions, and then she made the gravy thick, and it was just beautiful.
You got the three F's. You got family, food, and football, right?
That's it.
Can't get better than that.
Well, you could a little bit, but I mean that's still pretty damn good.
Yeah. With Joe, her boyfriend Joe.
All right, we got the official seal. Not upset at all.
See?
Keep up the fun. All right, there we go. Thank you, Mrs. P. We appreciate that.
I told you.
I couldn't sleep if I knew that I upset Mrs. P.
I know.
I have to throw Joe, my daughter's boyfriend Joe, in there. He's very good to me and my daughter. He's a good guy. He's the one, we watch football, hang out. He's a good guy. I have to throw him in there.
That's
I
mean, family's what
it's cash.
Yeah. And Benny, why don't you tell Mrs. P and 2.0 what your show is theme is going to be and when it's going to be on?
All right. So Mrs. P and 2.0, being that you're so kind and you listen to me every Sunday at 3:00. Although I'm not sure yet. I believe I have to work a home show this weekend. So I might be doing it, and I'll let you know, or I'll let Brittany know, and she can let you know. I might be doing it Saturday night. But the theme of this week's show, I'm calling it Feelings. So, of course, I'm going to play Feelings by Morris Albert. But I'm playing songs with any emotion involved. So, like happiness, sadness, heartbreak, cheating, lying, things like that. Jealousy.
Yeah.
Anything with any kind of emotion, regret, you name it. So pretty wide leeway. So anything you can think of, let Brittany know, and I'll make sure that I play it and I give you this shout out because I really appreciate you guys listening to me every week.
Yeah.
I got a good one for you. How do you mend the broken heart by the Bee Gees? That was a great song.
What a classic song before they got into disco.
Yep.
Great song.
Beautiful.
That, and I think the song "I Started a Joke" by the Bee Gees also.
What about that one?
Beautiful songs, like. And then they went disco. Of course, they became gazillionaires with disco. But I mean, I like their disco music. It's great. But before disco, they had some. They were very good. Didn't they do a song called Massachusetts?
Yeah. The First Cut is the Deepest by Rod Stewart. That's a great one.
I loved that. Yeah. That was a good one.
That's what Tori's saying too. Yeah.
That's a good one.
We have to include Rod. Got to include Rod.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, even now, my favorite Rod song. Well, I got a few of them, but was it "I Don't Want to Talk About It"?
That's a great one.
I love that song. That's such a beautiful song.
Yep, that's a good one. He does that. He was doing that in concert with his daughter. His daughter would come out and do that song with him in concert.
I mean, I could do a whole show just on. I could do a whole Rod Stewart show, and I mean, there's so much to pick from, right?
No kidding. Years and years of it. Oh,
right.
And they're all hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody, who doesn't like Rod Stewart?
I know.
Right. Who the fuck don't like him? You're gonna be really messed up.
If you don't like Rod Stewart, there's got to be something wrong with you. That's my.
I know.
I mean, beautiful songs. I mean, he's got something for everybody. You know, he's got Hot Legs. Do you think I'm sexy? Not just the love songs. I mean, he's got the love songs.
Forever Young.
Forever Young.
Yep.
But then he's got You're in My Heart, and Maggie May's not really a love song. I mean,
right.
If you don't like Rod Stewart, you need to get beat in the head with a tripod. That's what you need.
I think if somebody approaches me and wants to be my friend, I'm going to have a questionnaire. It's only going to have one question. Do you like Rod Stewart? No, there's going to be two questions. One is, do you like Rod Stewart? And two is, do you like dogs?
There you go.
There we go.
If you answer no to either one of those, man, you're out.
Yep.
Yeah. Out. Gone.
Yeah.
Unless, depending on what the females look like.
I mean, you don't need to have size D cans or anything like that. And, just you gotta like Rod Stewart and you gotta like dogs. Everything else can be, you can work around.
I do have morals. I have morals.
Yeah.
Do I have morals? I don't know if I have morals. I don't know.
Well, morals, you can have morals when it's convenient too. So
exactly.
Yeah. No, as long as if they like Rod and they like dogs, I mean, you can make it work.
There you go.
I try to be a role model. That's me,
There you go.
That's what I try to do.
Well, Dave, I tell you what. I mean, I'm saying this in all sincerity. You have two fantastic children, so you did something right.
No, thank you. I appreciate that. That warms the cockles of my heart. Thank you.
The cockles. Where exactly that? I've never heard of an open heart surgery where they remove the cockles. So I'm not really sure where they are.
I don't know. Fred Blassie used to use that saying.
That's it.
Even Terrible Tory agrees with me. If you say no to either one, we can't be friends, right?
That's right.
There you go.
Yeah.
She learned from the best.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up because it's past my bedtime here. Not really, but we're at an hour and 24 minutes. And actually,
what's the Buffalo, Bills.
Yeah, we have Jason Monday. My friend Jason Monday does his radio show Monday Nights with Monday, and he starts at 7:30. So we have to get out of his way there. He's really good. Does the kind of like the deep album cuts, the bluegrass stuff, the kind of stuff you're not going to hear. Like Brittany and I, we're like more pop stuff. I do 60s, 70s, 80s. Brittany's more. You do some 60s too, right?
Yeah, we do 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Yeah, we pretty much do the same thing. I've gone into the 50s. I've gone into the 90s a little bit. I think you probably have too. But by and large, we're playing. We're playing stuff that was on the Billboard charts. We're playing stuff that Casey Kasem told a story about.
Yeah,
I got one regret that I never went. There's one regret when it comes to music. I never seen this for whatever reasons. I don't know. I never went to see this guy in concert. Or his wife. His wife had a great voice too. Was Johnny Cash. I really kicked myself in the ass for not going to see Johnny Cash and his wife in concert.
Yep.
Yeah.
June Carter Cash.
It's a good life lesson to everybody out there. If you have a chance to do something, this is my opinion, you need to do it because as long as it's legal. because you're not going to regret doing it. You'll always regret not doing it. And I can speak from personal experience.
His wife had a great voice too, June Carter. She comes from the great Carter family in Nashville, Tennessee. She had a great voice too.
Yes.
Oh, actually, you know, I mistake Tori here. She has two different questions. Here they are. Do you like,
there you go.
Do you like Post Malone and do you like hot dogs? I don't even know who Post Malone is.
Oh boy.
He's a singer.
But I tell you what, like that would be a good call. I mean, if you don't like hot dogs, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm glad she likes hot dogs.
You gotta like hot dogs. Nothing like a good hot dog.
Yeah,
Sunday
there you go.
Barbecue.
Hey, God, Trouble Tori likes hot dogs. Got 2 grandkids out of it.
Yeah. Right. I'm not going to say anything. All right, guys. Well, thanks to everyone who in the live chat, Mrs. P, P 2.0, Terrible Tori. We had Jason before, Tom Jones. Who else? Chris DiCarlo from WFA, WANT as well. Chris does his show on Tuesdays at 8:07. Classic Chris DiCarlo. He just plays the 80s. But want to thank everyone in the live chat as well as anyone who follows our show, be it on Want Radio or any of our audio platforms. If you haven't already done so, please make sure you subscribe to the Playa Entertainment Network so you won't miss any future episodes. And do not forget to check out The Bad Girl every Saturday from 1 to 5 Eastern Time on Funland Radio. Great radio station and 4 hours of excellent classic tunes. You can find me on Want Radio most Sunday afternoons at 3 for Benny the Jet. I've included links for both in the description. So for the Bad Girl, Brittany Brown, and Dapper Dangerous Dave, the world's future male foot champion. This is the one and only Playa telling everyone to stay safe, and we will see you next crime. Good night, folks.
Bye, everyone. Bye, Denise. Bye, Mrs. P.
Bye, 2.0.